Not knowing is the essence of knowing. This abstraction gives us 4 possibilities. 1. Practicality. 2. Humility. 3. Science. And the 4th, wisdom over certainty. Today, I will unpack these 4 possibilities for you. If you promise me to sit tight, don't fidget, don't move, just be there. Expand your attention. Your attention is so limited because you focus on the knowing. You know what you want, but that's just simply a mirage in your head, because you don't know what you want. If you knew, you would have been in the bliss of life, not in the misery. You're more in the misery side of life. And that's simply because you focus on the knowing. One of the possibilities of this statement, not knowing is the essence of knowing, is the practicality of it. When you focus on the not knowing, you don't know. But you focus on the knowing part. All your life, you think you know. All your life, you want to know. All your life, you educate yourself. All your life, you read books. You gather knowledge. Because you know, education, knowledge is the only way. Perhaps this is by deep conditioning in your culture, in your religion, in your country. Perhaps this is something that you understood on your own. I need to read books. I need to gather knowledge in order to become someone, in order to be reputable, in order to be a smart, act a smart, look a smart. It's not practical. This knowing state is not practical. No matter how much you know, there is much bigger amount that you don't know. And the more you know, the more you realize there is so much that you don't know. But when you focus on the not knowing part, you already surrender. When you focus on not knowing part, you already come out of the wheel of this game that you created your life. You created in your life, they created in your life. Who are they? We don't know, but we know that we are not in control of our own life. Because the moment you get control of your own life, you will realize that you don't know. You don't know anything. You know nothing about this existence. You know nothing about your own being. You know nothing about what's going on in your body. You know a lot. You know a lot when it comes to science. You know a lot when it comes to knowledge. You know a lot about your body when it comes to other people's discoveries. But what about your discovery? What about your discovery? This will lead us to another possibility of this abstraction of not knowing is the essence of knowing. When you acknowledge not knowing, when you realize that you don't know, you get to the science. You get to the science and discovery. You realize that there is something to discover, and the only way to discover is to question it. I don't know anything about my body, therefore I question it. I don't know anything about this existence, therefore I question it. Where is your question? You don't have any question because you focus on the knowing, because you think you know. If you focus on the question, you become a scientist. You become a mystic. All the scientists are mystics. You don't know it's scientists. You haven't met all these scientists that they created this life, this beautiful, comfortable, convenient life for you. You haven't met them. You met the brand. You met the corporations. You met their spell. You met what they want you to meet. You don't know Einstein. You haven't met Einstein. But you are using his discoveries to make a convenient and comfortable life. You don't do anything for it. You did nothing for it. Einstein did everything for you. And so many other scientists, they did everything for you. What did you do? Where is your science? Where is your discovery? Where is your understanding? Where is your question? What do you need more? What needs to be here now for you to ask questions? Why do you want to keep consuming in your life all the answers that all other scientists created for you? You're the consumer of the answers. You're the consumer of the knowledge. You're the consumer of education. You're the consumer of the products that all these corporations make for you every single day. And you don't give up. Every single day you want something new. Every single day you want something better. Every single day you want something that works even better than the one that works for you right now. You're not satisfied with the vintage. You're not satisfied with the old things. You're not satisfied with the second hand. You're not satisfied with anything old. You always want something new. You always live in the future, in the desire. When you ask question, you become scientist. And when you become scientist, you become a mystic, a spiritual person. Because when you become a scientist, you open the door to another possibility of this abstraction. Not knowing is the essence of knowing. And that's wisdom over certainty. That's simply Zen. Zen says, I don't know. And the only way to know is to live it. The only way to be here is to be uncertain. If you stay uncertain, if you do not focus on the knowing, if you do not become what you know, you're enlightened. Because every single moment gives you a possibility of living a fresh life. Every single moment gives you a possibility to not know. Every single moment gives you a possibility of meditation. When you meditate, when you get into that state of discovery, when you get to know yourself, when you get to question this body, this existence, this possibility, this blueprint, nothing else, no one else, only this, you alchemize it. You transmute what's here into what's everywhere. You transcend. You become one with the whole. You're not a fraction anymore. At the moment, you're a fraction of a whole. But you are focused on the fraction. You're focused on the knowing. You're focused on what you know. You're focused on what has been discovered. You're focused on the education, knowledge. You're focused on other people's possibilities. But when you focus on your not knowing, when you focus on yourself, you open the door to the whole. You say, I surrender. You say, I don't know. I cannot ever know, because there is so much information, there is so much knowledge, there is so much possibility, that the more I know, I realize, the less I will know. Now you meditate more, humility enters, last stage of this whole combination, you become part of the whole. Now you exist, and the existence thrive because of you, because you are not a broken fraction anymore. You're not a malfunction fraction anymore. You're part of the whole. Whatever you do, the whole just thrives because you do it exactly the way that you were designed to do. But at the moment, you're not doing what you were designed to do. You were designed to live. You were designed to be this organic unity. You were designed to work with this around you. You're not designed to not be in contact with nature. Yet you are living absolutely disconnected with nature. Yet you live absolutely disconnected with your true self, with your being. You have no humility. You don't open the possibilities of uncertainty. You argue, you discuss things, you have opinions. Sometimes you are highly opinionated. You think you discovered it all because you read books. You think you know because you read books. Deep down, you know that you're a hypocrite. You know nothing. It's all borrowed knowledge. It's all makes sense. And it look looks so cool to be you. This thing that you made for yourself, and you change it every year, you change it every day to be trendy, to be part of the mass, to be able to make sense, to be able to stay relevant. You want to become popular. You think if you are popular, then everything is fixed. You think if you're rich, then everything is going to be fine. Nothing is going to be fine. Nothing. Nothing is going to be fine until you give up. You give up on this knowing. You give up on this knowledge. You give up on everything that comes from outside. You give up on all there is, and you become all there is not. You become nothing. You become nobody. You do not need to be popular. You do not need to become rich. You do not need to become a knowledgeable person, someone that everyone can praise. You give up on that. You live. You simply live. You simply meditate. You simply don't care anymore. You simply are there to enjoy it, to be with it. I missed you, but I am in middle of something, so I have less time to put up videos. We are selling our cabin and moving out of Denmark, so I have less time to be around, but soon perhaps I will find more time to be around. That does it. You take care of yourself. Bye.